Scotland player ratings versus Wales. Scotland had a bit of a disappointing game against Wales, but they did get the win. And to be honest, Wales did kind of show up and really, they're on an upward curve right now. So it was honestly a tough game for Scotland to win, especially coming off a really emotional, really good win against England the week before. But in this video, we're going to be going over the Scotland player ratings. There might be some high scores, there might be some low scores. But if you do agree, let me know in the comments down below. If you disagree, let's talk about it as well in the comments. I'm so grateful for all the Scottish fan support as well. I've been seeing all the comments and all the videos, and I really appreciate it. But let's get right into the video. Number 1, Nathan Macbeth. I've gone for a 5 out of 10. He was taken off after 34 minutes, which shows how much he struggled on the day. He got run over by Dowie Lake quite badly, which, although the scrums weren't the biggest issue compared to other weeks, his overall play around the park was okay, but he didn't really make the impact he would have wanted. For Nathan Macbeth, he's really going to have to go back to the drawing board, and I think he's one of the players in the Scotland team right now that now has a week off where he can just maybe go have a breather and then come back and hopefully bounce back, because he is a good player, and I'd like to see a bit more impact from him. He made 8 tackles, but this was during a period where Wales had a lot of possession, so there was a lot of players making a lot of tackles for Scotland. Number 2, Dave Cherry. I've gone for a 4.5 out of 10. He really struggled at line-out time, so his overall positional fundamentals were lacking. He did get stuck in with 17 tackles, but the line-out struggles and spilling the ball close to the Welsh try line really knocks down his score, so a 4.5 for him. He seemed a little bit off the pace, but I'm pretty sure with time, with experience, he'll get there. And he is a good player. I've seen him play at club level. He's a great player. And I'd like to see him get more game time, but probably off the bench going forward. Number 3, Xander Fagerson. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. This is the Xander Fagerson we all know. I mean, he played like the old Xander Fagerson that played last year and the years prior. I mean, so far in the competition, he's been struggling. He honestly hasn't been playing the way we know he can play, but in the game against Wales, he was much better. He had a huge scrum penalty in the 76th minute, and he did a lot of the unseen hard work, which I really like about him. For a prop, he gets through a lot of work. 20 tackles and 8 carries. So, I mean, his value in the team can't be looked over. I mean, he's got such a high... He's got such a big role in this team. He's got such a big amount of value in this team. And that's why, especially against Italy, he was really struggling. And you could tell that the whole forward pack was kind of struggling because some of the key guys just weren't at their best. And it's important for the key guys to be at their best going forward. Number 4, Max Williamson. I've gone for a 4 out of 10. He also got taken off in the first half, and it just wasn't his day. I mean, he missed a few tackles and he had some line-out issues, which I think was a bit of a mistake between Max Williamson and Dave Cherry. But he did make a few tackles, he did make a few carries, but he'll look to try bounce back from this, especially in Scotland's next game against France, where every single player is going to have to be at their best. Otherwise, it could be a long day in the office for Scotland. But I actually am quite, a little bit confident for the Scotland game against France. I think Scotland can do quite well in that game. And I do think the style that France plays and the style that Scotland plays, it could be a very close game and it could be a very entertaining game. But I do think Scotland really have to pitch up, and players like Max Williamson and Dave Cherry probably need to step up their game in that one. I think every single player on the field needs to be at their best on that day to beat France, who right now are absolutely ruthless. For Scott Cummings, I've gone for a 6 out of 10. He only took 1 ball for Scotland, which is quite scary to think about. And Scotland need to sort out their line-out issues very quickly, because they're going to go up against France, and France are very ruthless on any mistake that any team makes. So if the Scottish pack does make a lot of mistakes at set piece, France will pounce on it, and Scotland will pay the price for it. But I am quite confident about the Scotland team. I think they are all going to pitch up, and I am really excited for that game in 2 weeks. I gave him a 6 because he did get through a lot of work around the park. He hit the rucks quite hard. He made 5 carries and 12 tackles. But overall, when it comes to the fundamentals of his position, he was average, to be honest. Number 6, Gregor Brown. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. He started the game off slow, but he really grew into the game as time went on. Eventually, the lineouts looked a bit better, and he ended up taking 6 of the lineouts of Scotland, the most of any forward on the day, including 14 tackles and 7 carries. He is a very hard worker in this team, and he does add value to this forward pack. He's also a massive individual, so having a guy like him can never harm your forward pack. It can only help them, especially at scrum time with his extra weight and power. The way he carries, he always gets front foot ball, and the way he tackles as well. He's a very hard tackler. So I mean, Gregor Brown, he's the kind of guy that's really been impressing me over the last few weeks for Scotland, and he's a guy I didn't really know too much about before the last 2 weeks, to be honest. So 6.5 for him. Number 7, Rory Dodge. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. He also had a slow start, which I think was a common theme throughout the whole Scottish team, but he grew into the game and ended up making some key plays to swing the momentum in Scotland's direction. He's an awesome player. I mean, Rory Dodge is an absolutely awesome player. He made 10 solid carries and 14 solid tackles. I mean, that's the thing with the thing that I really like about Rory Dodge. When he tackles someone, you know they're going to feel it. And when he runs at someone, he tries to run through them. So he's one of those guys that plays with a lot of intent, and he's the one guy in the Scotland team that I think everybody around him can really feed off his energy, especially when he gets going. And I think he's a guy that, he's also one of those guys, if you think like a Tommy Freeman, if you think like probably Anton Dupont, they never really have a bad game. They always have a good game, and if they have an average game, it's still a good game compared to what someone else's bad game would be. So Rory Dodge is a very important player for Scotland. Number 8, Matt Fagerson. I've gone for an 8.5 out of 10. A lot of Scotland fans would have been worrying about the number 8 jersey after losing Jack Dempsey to injury. But Matt Fagerson really showed up and he played a very good game on Saturday. He led the forward pack physically, and I'm sure when things started to go Scotland's way, the other forwards were feeding off his hunger and energy. I mean, 21 tackles, 2 dominant tackles, and 15 carries. An incredible work rate by Matt Fagerson. I mean, he had an unfortunate knock-on late, but his work rate and his impact can't be overlooked. I mean, I'm not going to let a little knock-on at the end of the game ruin the fact that he got 21 tackles, 15 carries, and was just one of Scotland's best forwards, if not their best forward on the day. He really impressed me, and actually seeing him pack down at the back of the scrum, you can see how big he actually is. He's huge. So when Jack Dempsey's back, having the likes of a Matt Fagerson on the field at the same time as a Jack Dempsey could be really good going forward. That would be really good to see. Number 9, Ben White. I've gone for a 5.5 out of 10. I will say I don't think Ben White's really been in his best in the Six Nations so far. I think he's been okay, but I hope in the next 2 games he can bounce back to his best form. He made a weird decision to grub her on the line break from Kinghorn, which they could have made a much higher percentage play by just looking for a better option to pass to. He gave an interception off the back of a 50-50 pass as well, but usually he's the threat around the fringes of the breakdown, but I just haven't been seeing him play his style of rugby or really play with confidence. I don't know what's going on with him. It could be the lack of form at Toulouse. It could be Toulouse struggling as well right now. I mean, Toulon, sorry. It could be the lack of form at Toulon and him struggling at Toulon. I have no idea what it is. But the one game I did watch for Toulon was against Edinburgh, I think, and he was like man of the match. But I don't know what's going on with him, and I'd like to see him step it up a bit and play with a bit more confidence because he is a phenomenal player, and I think a lot of people are forgetting about how good he actually is as a player. Number 10, Finn Russell. I've gone for an 8.5 out of 10. He had some magical moments to help Scotland get the win. I mean, once Finn Russell gets into that zone where he's just making things happen, it's incredible to watch. I mean, some of the passes he can make is outstanding. Especially that one pass, it was a few years ago against England for Hugh Jones. He gave the ball right over the England defenders. That's probably my top 2 passes of all time, and the Dylan Lates pass behind the back. So I mean, he is a magician with ball in hand, and when he gets going, he's really good, but when it's not going for him, it really doesn't go for him. But luckily that wasn't the case in this game. It was going for him, and things were going his way, and he was seeing the game a lot quicker than everyone else. He scored a very important try in the 54th minute of the game for Scotland, and yes, it may have been a lucky bounce, but him having the playmaking ability to see the opportunity for the quick kickoff for Darcy Graham's try was exceptional. Of course, it was a bit of a lucky bounce in Darcy Graham's direction, but him actually having the wherewithal, the vision to see that opportunity or see that it was a potential opportunity and put the ball in the right area for that to even be an outcome is absolutely incredible. So yes, lucky bounce, but it all comes off the back of vision and actually having the confidence to go and try that. So 8.5 for Finn Russell. I do think he deserves it for this game. Number 11, Duan van der Merwe. I've gone for a 5.5 out of 10. He will be disappointed with this game. I mean, because I know he holds himself to a very high standard and he wasn't able to have as much of an impact as he would have liked in this game. He did make one very good run, but he just wasn't put in any positions to show off his true running ability. But this is where it comes into play, where I think he could maybe do a bit more work off of his wing as well. The likes of a Kyle Steyn does it very well, and that's why I think Kyle Steyn right now is the number 1 wing option in this team. Number 12, Sione Tuipulotu. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. One thing Sione Tuipulotu has been doing very well in the Six Nations is doing the unseen hard work very well. He's getting stuck in every game, and his ability to do the fundamental basics very well has significantly helped his team in this week and last week's game. I mean, 7 carries, 12 tackles, and a very good ability to stop a defensive line on attack and on defense be able to make some big shots and really stop the momentum of a team like Wales once they get going on attack. So I mean, Sione Tuipulotu is one of the guys, he does the basics so well, and if you can do the basics really well, everything can build from that. I mean, his drawing and passing, he can stop defenders on attack really well and open up space for the guys outside of him. On defense, he makes good reads, he makes good tackles, he gets up quick, he's a threat at the breakdown. So Sione Tuipulotu does all the basics really well, and that's why sometimes he'll never have a bad game, to be honest, because he's just always doing the basics extremely well, and I think that should be the fundamental base for all of these players going forward. Number 13, Hugh Jones. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. He could have looked like a hero once again, but it just didn't go exactly the same way as last week. He couldn't impact the game exactly like he did last week, but he still put himself in positions to have the best possible game-breaking plays and the best possible outcomes, but it just didn't come his way. He didn't get to light up the scoreboard, but his fundamental role in the backline as a centre is very important in this team. I mean, he is part of the spine of the backline on attack and defence, and getting stuck in physically and being a threat on attack is something he does very well. Once again, Hugh Jones, another guy that does the basics very well. I don't think he was as good as Sione Tuipulotu this game, but Hugh Jones also has his own way of impacting a game, and he almost was the hero a few times. I mean, there was a few times where he almost got the line break, where he was almost the same type of hero he was last week against England, but it's very, very fine margins at international level. Number 14, Kyle Steyn. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. He's been Scotland's best winger throughout the entire Six Nations so far, and I mean, he showed this once again against Wales. His ability to work well off his wing is what I think personally puts him far above the rest currently, far above the other wings currently in Scotland. Yes, the other guys might be good steppers, the other guys might be good at running over people or scoring tries, but Kyle Steyn's ability to work well off his wing and have a high work rate is what separates him from the rest. It honestly does. I mean, if you think of some of the current standout wingers in the competition, like Robert Balakoon, Louis Bielbarri, Tommy Freeman, and the likes of a Kyle Steyn, they all find ways to be threats in other ways than just being a finisher on the wing. Kyle Steyn has been absolutely awesome for Scotland recently, and he's been just such a threat with ball in hand. So he's probably one of the number one choices in the team for Scotland currently, and I see that being the case for a long time if he plays this way. Number 15, Blair Kinghorn. I've gone for a 7.5 out as well. I mean, he needs to start going forward. He has to start the next games going forward, especially against France. I mean, he is a world-class player and a game changer in the Scotland side. His aerial ability is world-class, and his ability to cut teams open with his pace at any time, and his ability to be able to be a playmaker outside or out the back of Finn Russell as well is so underrated in this team. I mean, he really is a Swiss Army knife. He's physical, he makes really good tackles, he's good under the high ball, he's very good under the high ball, one of the best in the world. He's got a very good boot. He can play 10 if you have enough injuries as well, because he plays 10. He's played 10 for Toulouse as well. He has a playmaker out the back of Finn Russell. If you think he can play out the back of a Sione Tuipulotu, out the back of a Hugh Jones, out the back of a Finn Russell, and he'll be just fine. He'll be comfortable. He can slot into the number 13 jersey and work his way as well into the line from fullback. He is such a good player, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why they weren't starting him. Yes, Tom Jordan has been good, but I think right now Blair Kinghorn is the guy going forward. I think Tom Jordan has a space in the team on the bench, and he can make a big impact. But I think if you have a guy like Blair Kinghorn, use him. I mean, seriously, you got to use him. I don't know what Townsend's thinking with that one. I think there might have been some internal issues there. Surely, I mean, that he would start in most teams in the world right now. Number 16, George Turner. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. He made a big impact in the front row for Scotland, and his lineouts were much better when he came on. He worked hard all around the park and even scored a try in the 74th minute of the game. So 7 out of 10 for George Turner. Moving on to Piers Skuma, number 17. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. I truly believe he should be starting. I mean, he scrummed well, he carries hard, and he's just the type of guy that's not just going to go there to make tackles and carries. He's going to go there to smash people and get over the advantage line. Maybe the coaches do prefer his impact off the bench, but personally, as a neutral, I'd like to see him on the field for 65 to 70 minutes rather than 25 to 30 minutes. I just think it makes more sense having him on the field for longer. I don't know, maybe the thought process is him coming from the bench, but maybe he can just play a bit longer because he really does impact the game a lot when he comes on. And he's a leader in this team. You can just tell the way he plays. He leads by example. Number 18, Elliot Miller-Mills. I've given him a 6 out of 10. He came on for Xander Fagerson had a phenomenal game, and he didn't let the quality slip at all. He did his role very well without being a standout, and he's a very good guy to have in the squad. I mean, if you're bringing off a guy like Xander Fagerson and you're bringing on an absolute unit like Elliot Miller-Mills, you can't go wrong with that. So a 6 out of 10 for him. Number 19, Grant Gilchrist. I can't give him a score. He only played 14 minutes, so I'm not going to unfairly rate someone if they don't play at least more than 16 to 20 minutes. Number 20, Josh Bayless. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. He really impressed me. I mean, he brought some physicality and competitiveness with every involvement he had. If all the injuries do remain the same in the Scotland team, I do expect to see him start in the next game. I mean, he brought that competitiveness, that fiery attitude, and I think that's going to be important going up against the likes of a France where they've got guys like Jelonge, Oscar Jegu, Lenny Nushi, and those guys that are absolutely stubborn with regards to physicality. They will not let themselves get bullied. So I think that's going to be a really exciting game. And I think Josh Bayless probably could be one of the perfect guys to play in that game. Number 21, George Horn. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. He's the perfect guy to have on the bench for Scotland. I mean, when he comes on, he always brings pace, speed, skill, and really good crisp service. And I do think he played better than Ben White. I think he's been playing better than Ben White the whole Six Nations, but I still wouldn't start him currently. I think maybe give him more time from the bench, but I do see Ben White as more of a starter, a guy that can get through 55 to 60 minutes, and George Horn can just come onto the field and really make a big impact and bring that electric play from his. And I think he is the perfect guy to have on the bench for Scotland. He's probably the best bench player right now for Scotland, as well as Darcy Graham, but I really like George Horn. He's phenomenal. 22, Tom Jordan. I can't give him a score. He wasn't on the field long enough, but I do think he's the perfect guy to have in this number 23 going forward, and I think he should be in the team for probably most of the games throughout the year. He's really impressed me every time he's played. I would have liked to see him get more game time. I don't know where on the field though, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty versatile with positions he can play. He is quite good physically. He's got a good playmaking ability as well. Number 23, last but not least, Darcy Graham. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. He was a game breaker for Scotland. I mean, he has been getting stuck in with every opportunity given to him recently, especially in the Six Nations campaign. I think he might even deserve a start in Scotland's next game if Dobie is still injured. I do like Duan van der Merwe a lot, but I think right now with the little involvements, the little cameos we've been seeing from the likes of a Darcy Graham, if Jamie Dobie is still injured in the next game, you got to start Darcy Graham. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. Probably against France, maybe you got to go with a 6-2 split, and then I would still probably have Tom Jordan and George Horn on the bench and probably start Darcy Graham. But I will be doing a video of who I think Scotland should pick against France coming out probably on Thursday or Friday, so stay tuned for that one. But I mean, Darcy Graham, a 7.5 out of 10. A really sneaky try with well worked with Finn Russell there. That was awesome to watch. That was one of those moments where you stand up and you're like, what is going on? But that's just what makes rugby so awesome, and that's why I really enjoyed the game on Saturday, even though Scotland fans might think, oh, they only beat Wales by 3 points. In fact, they beat Wales on Wales' probably best game they've had in recent years, with things clicking for Wales in Wales after a very emotional performance against England. So I'd say it's actually a very big win for Scotland last week. And I think a lot of other teams would have been struggling against Wales this week after playing a game like they did last week against England. So Darcy Graham, I'd like to see him get a start. He's awesome. He's a hot stepper. He also works really well off of his wing. And he's a threat at the breakdown as well. So I think he's the perfect guy to play against France. And if you have the likes of a Kyle Steyn and a Darcy Graham, it's going to be a really good matchup against the likes of a Louis Biel-Barry and a Diawate Sogbia. So I can't wait for that one, guys. But if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you disagree with some of my ratings, if you agree with some of my ratings, let me know in the comments down below. Let's talk about it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.